Hello. Hello. This is Reed, your friendly neighborhood Canadian from Canada, clearly, the province of Alberta, a small town that believes the more gas stations and the more liquor stores, the better. I'm here to record my second round NHL playoffs 2019 predictions because obviously, like many other people, other hockey fans all across Canada and the United States of America, the first round was a complete, utter clusterfuck of what the fuck just happened. Yeah. So, I'm wearing a Toronto Maple Leafs jersey and a Winnipeg Jets hat. One of these is Canada's team. And the other is one of the worst franchises. No, maybe not worst. How about the worst Canadian fan base franchise? Like, the fans of the Toronto Maple Leafs are even more delusional than Oiler fans. And Oiler fans of the last 10 years are like a high level of stupid. But the Toronto Maple Leafs fan base, I'm going to just record a video. It's going to be awesome. It's going to get a lot of hate. Toronto Maple Leaf fans, and that's fine. I mean, most of Canada hates the Toronto Maple Leafs anyway, and your fan base. Why? Because you think you're the center of the universe, you're stupid, and yeah. And to that one guy, I mean, I'm sure there's many, but like I said, the Toronto Maple Leafs aren't going to win a Stanley Cup without a real goalie, and Frederik Andersen is not that real goalie. And look what happened. Oh no, I'm right again, like usual, and you're wrong. Now, when it comes to hockey, I'm more right about stuff than most people, which is weird, but it's fluke. I can say that, it's just predictions, right? But you gotta know, you gotta be a smart hockey fan versus just thinking with your heart. And a smart hockey fan will tell you the Toronto Maple Leafs aren't winning Stanley Cup without a real goalie. And yes, I think that real goalie is Henrik Lundqvist. I think the New York Rangers should trade Henrik Lundqvist to Toronto. That way Toronto can win a Stanley Cup. Canada can be happy. Henrik Lundqvist can win a Stanley Cup because he's not winning one in New York. It accomplishes so many goals. And to say that Frederik Andersen is that goalie because he has a couple good regular season years, and maybe he's nominated for a Vezina or two. Heck. Fuck. You want to go down the list of all the goalies nominated for Vezina trophies that haven't done anything, that had one or two good regular seasons and then didn't produce in the playoffs or do anything else? It happens all the time. And Frederik Andersen is 0 for 4, 0 for 4, 0 for 4 horsemen, in Game 7s in the playoffs. His goals against average is 4.11. His save percentage is .856. Just saying. Anyway, most smart hockey fans picked Boston to beat Toronto, as I did, as most Canadians would, because Toronto sucks. And Canada's team is the Winnipeg Jets. So, like most people, my first round NHL bracket went to, like, Thanos came, snapped, and all the NHL predictions of the first round went bye-bye. So, 8 first round matchups. I did a video. I tweeted it multiple times. I was 2 for 8. Yeah. I picked Boston to beat Toronto, like most smart people. Thank God they did. And I picked the San Jose Sharks to beat the Vegas Golden Knights. Those were my 2 first-round series that I got correct. And I got the other 6 wrong. So I'm not saying believe me, obviously, this year. I mean, I've been wrong on my Stanley Cup predictions the last 2 years now. Both years I picked Tampa Bay to win the Cup. My Stanley Cup final for this year, my epic prediction was the Winnipeg Jets losing to the Tampa Bay Lightning, and Tampa Bay would win the Stanley Cup, and Steven Stamkos would win the Conn Smythe Trophy. That was my prediction. And my final 4 predictions were in the East. It was Pittsburgh and Tampa Bay. And in the West, it was the San Jose Sharks, who I'm not a fan of, but you have to sometimes pick teams, versus Winnipeg. That was my West final 2. So that was my final 4. So I have 1 team left out of my predictions. So like many people, second round predictions, here we go. Like, this is crazy. Like, no one thought Columbus was going to sweep the Tampa Bay Lightning. Most people didn't even think Columbus was going to beat Tampa Bay. I just did a video about that because I was so shocked. And then 15 minutes later, the New York Islanders sweep the Pittsburgh Penguins. I figured the Islanders would take it to Game 7 with Pittsburgh, but 2 of the best teams gone, and then it happened with Calgary, and then it just happened. So, second round, here we are. We have the Dallas Stars, who I have in my work Calcutta by fluke. Somehow, I'm in the second round of my work Calcutta. Tory. Ha! You had Toronto. Sorry. But you won last year. The Dallas Stars versus the St. Louis Blues. Now, for a long time, I loved the St. Louis Blues growing up. I loved Brett Hull, Brendan Shanahan, Adam Oates, Curtis Joseph, and then grew up when Chris Pronger was a member of the St. Louis Blues, all that stuff. And then Wayne Gretzky and that time, and Grant Fuhr, and you know. But I'm picking Dallas to beat St. Louis in this. Dallas versus St. Louis, because really hot chick on Twitter, Allie, who will never watch this video. If you on Twitter and you're Edmonton or Alberta guy, you know who she is. She's pretty sexy, and she's a big Dallas Star fan. Plus, I have them in my work Calcutta, so I'm picking the Dallas Stars to beat St. Louis. And then the other is the Colorado Avalanche, my friend Catlin's favorite team, and the San Jose Sharks. I have to go with San Jose because they're the only team left of my final 4 predictions. So I'm picking San Jose to beat Colorado in round 2. So that means I'm now have the Dallas Stars versus the San Jose Sharks in the Western Conference Final. But with my luck, St. Louis. This will be the year St. Louis decides, hey, let's finally do something after all these years of being such a really, really good team, and they traded all these players, and they keep changing things, and Ken Hitchcock was their coach forever, and blah, blah, blah. Who knows? Who knows? And in the East, we have the Boston Bruins versus the Columbus Blue Jackets. Now, little known fact, I'm not a big Boston fan. I'm not. The worst fans I've ever encountered in a hockey game, in a real-life NHL game, are Boston Bruins fans. When I went to a Boston Bruins game versus the Edmonton Oilers like 5 years ago, they were the worst, douchiest fans I've ever met in person. Yes, I cheered for Boston when they played Vancouver for the 2011 Stanley Cup Final, because Boston was Canada's team. Boston had more players that were Canadian on it than Vancouver, and I was happy Boston beat Vancouver, because also, fuck Vancouver now. Which is so funny, because in the 90s, I was a big Vancouver Canucks fan, even though the Rangers are my favorite team. It's weird, it's complicated. I even had checks at one point that had the Vancouver Canucks. It was weird. It was a weird time. A lot of my family lives in Vancouver. So we got Columbus Blue Jackets versus the Boston Bruins. I'm picking the Columbus Blue Jackets to win in the second round. To me, that makes sense. Nothing makes sense, but that's what I'm going with. And then the other matchup is the Carolina Hurricanes versus the New York Islanders. I'm picking the New York Islanders to beat Carolina in round 2. That's all I got. That's literally all I got. So my East final is now the New York Islanders versus the Columbus Blue Jackets. That's my prediction. So I'm going Dallas Stars, San Jose Sharks in the West, Columbus Blue Jackets, and the New York Islanders in the East. Those are my round 2 predictions. I'm sure everyone else's round 2 predictions are just as crazy as mine. So there you go. Nice, short, and sweet. Nothing crazy. Trash talk the Toronto Maple Leaf fans. Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to do another video in a couple days. I'm going on spring vacation soon. I'm going to go see Avengers. Endgame tonight. Later today, tomorrow, whenever I'm recording this video, I'm not sure. I'm going to upload it when I come back, so it's going to be late. But yeah, so if you want, subscribe, like this video, say hi, tell me I'm a douchebag, you don't, whatever. I picked Tampa Bay to win the cup against the Winnipeg Jets. They lost. And Toronto is not Canada's team, even though I'm wearing a Toronto Maple Leafs blue jersey. I like to, Maple Leafs, blah, blah, blah. I'm just crazy like that. If you want to follow me on Twitter, it's Reed, WR at Twitter. It's locked now because Twitter's stupid. I don't want to risk Avengers Endgame spoilers because there are idiots out there. And yeah, so that's it. Short and simple. Hi to Bruce, Catlin, Aaron, Jimmy / Austin, Tori, Charmaine, Jake Quellen, Mark, my friend in the island looking for Aquaman's secret hidden base, and yeah, other random people. Thank you. More NHL videos to come. Cheers. Subscribe. Don't hate too much. It's amateur. Better video. Better audio. Thanks for watching. NHL Round 2. Anything can happen. Who do you think's going to win? Cheers.